Good morning, everyone. Are we online? Great. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Friday, August 5th, 2016.
Commissioner James, repenting and assent to our present. President James, we have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Veretta Everhart, Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Edmund Yu, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Hannah Choi, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Sergio Samayoa, Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. President James, we do not have any public comment cards. We also do not have any commentary under the Neighborhood Council and no speaker cards under the regular items for today's agenda.
Okay, then we'll close general public comment as well as our Neighborhood Council category of commentary. Some housekeeping items to take care of. Agenda item number 8. Tom Malloy Corporation, doing business as Trent Shoring, has transmitted the release of a stop notice in the amount of $11,227.86 in connection with the Venice Boulevard Transit Priority System project. The contractor Steiny and Company. Is there a second to my motion that we receive number 8 forthwith? By Commissioner Repenning and Jacinto. So that'll be the order. Agenda item number 7, L&A Concrete Structures has transmitted the release of a stop notice in the amount of $119,096.87 in connection with the North Outfall Sewer Unit 2, Western Avenue to Vermont Avenue, and Unit 5, San Pedro Street to Hooper Avenue project. The contractor is Spinello Companies. Is there a second to my motion that we approve agenda item number 7 forthwith? By Commissioner Repenning. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Agenda item number 6. Hardy and Harper Incorporated has transmitted the release of a stop notice in the amount of $8,970 in connection with the emergency sewer repair project at Park Place. The contractor is Valverde Construction Incorporated. Is there a second to my motion that we approve agenda item number 6 forthwith? By Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Agenda item number 5. Triumph Painting has transmitted the release of a stop notice in the amount of $83,089.71 in connection with the La Kretz Innovation Campus project. The contractor is USS Cal Builders Incorporated. Is there a second to my motion that we approve agenda item number 5 forthwith? That would be Commissioner Jacinto. Let's go to agenda item number 1. Actually, first, is there a second to my motion that we approve the meeting minutes of the meeting from Monday, July 18th, 2016 by Commissioner Repenning? Any objection? Without objection, we will approve those meeting minutes. Agenda item number 1 in Council District 14, recommending that the board authorize $1,161,551 in additional contingency and approve a revised construction budget. This is on the 6th Street Viaduct Replacement Project. A revised construction budget of $25,889,051 and authorize the city engineer to issue change order number 9 to Skanska Stacy Whitbeck, a joint venture, for an amount not to exceed $1,500,000. This is for project task order package number 2, demolition for the relocation of storm drain line number 137, as I said, in connection with the 6th Street Viaduct Replacement Project. It is a federal project. Mr. Koo.
Good morning. John Koo with the Bureau of Engineering, 6th Street Viaduct Division. This report seeks your approval to increase the contract contingency for the issuance of a change order associated with storm drain line 137 relocation. The purpose of the relocation is to clear the area for the upcoming foundation pile construction. That package was awarded by the board last Friday. The scope of work also involves a major shoring to support the 101 freeway. That is the bulk of the cost of this change order, so that the pipeline relocation work may proceed. The overall 6th Street Viaduct is comprised of 10 CMGC work packages. CMGC stands for Construction Manager General Contractor Delivery Method. There are 4 right-of-way funded packages and 6 construction phase funded packages. The storm drain was originally in upcoming package D, which was for right-of-way, This report proposes that it be moved to construction package 2. So essentially, it's not really a change order. It's more of a shift in the funding. We have obtained Caltrans approval on this shift, and as well as the permit approval from County of LA Flood Control District for this work. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Koo, and for the simplification and clarification, always helpful. Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you, President James. John, thanks for the report. Just wanted to clarify again, the reason for we're shifting the work is because we need to take care of the drain so that we could lay the foundation, and thus it's being put further up in another package?
That is correct, Commissioner, as well as the funding itself was originally treated as a utility, whereas now Caltrans has deemed the storm drain to be a construction phase funded item.
Construction phase. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's a vote. Oh, this is for number 3. I was going to say I recognize that from a different agenda item. Any other questions on this characterization as a change order? Okay, I don't have any questions. Commissioner Jacinto has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 1. I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 1. Any issues sending number 1 forthwith? We'll send number 1 forthwith. Thank you. Agenda item number 2, there's been a request that it be continued to Monday, August 8th. Is that correct, Mr. Campos?
That is correct.
Okay. This is the tree removal on 1227 Preston Way in CD 11. So that will be continued to this Monday, August 8th. Agenda item number 3.
Actually, Mr. President, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, that was the original request to extend this item to next week, August the 8th. However, I did receive an email this morning from Mr. Tim Tyson from the Bureau of Street Services, and they are working with the Office of the City Attorneys to obtain some information that this board requested, and therefore they requested an additional week after Monday, August the 8th. So that would put us on...
Monday 15?
That is correct.
That Monday the 15th is fine with me. Mr. Jordan, is that okay with your office?
Yeah, that's my understanding, and we'll remind Mr. Tyson to reach out to all of the stakeholders who have come to the previous meetings so that they don't show up on Monday.
Okay.
And I will also send an email to all of them as well.
I'm going to guess that Mr. Campos has been communicating with them anyway, so.
Yes.
Great. Okay, thank you. So agenda item number 2 will be continued to Monday, August 15th. Thank you, guys. Agenda item number 3, from the executive officer, recommending that the board approve the proposed interdepartmental partnership plan between the Departments of Public Works and Building and Safety, something that we've been working on for some time now, to allow for the improvement of development services and related enhancements that both city departments provide to the public and other stakeholder agencies. Authorize the board president or 2 commissioners to sign the proposed partnership plan with an understanding that this is a living document and that objectives and or action item deliverables may be added, deleted, and or updated as enhancements evolve throughout the Build LA program. Number 3, authorize the Bureau Directors and Executive Officer to sign and execute the proposed partnership plan. And number 4, authorize the Board President and Executive Officer or Bureau Directors to approve non-substantial proposed future amendments to the partnership plan. I'm going to guess it's not written on the agenda that way, but even if we wanted to approve substantial proposed future amendments to the partnership plan, it's something that we could do so by agreement of the parties. This is something that I think we had a presentation from various city departments on some months ago. Mr. Campos, go ahead, sir.
That is correct, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. I'm very pleased to present this item before you. This is under the leadership of Commissioner Jacinto, working with all the 5 bureaus across the entire department and also the Department of Building and Safety. The item before you is a partnership plan that would allow both the Department of Public Works and also the Building and Safety to move forward with improving and enhancing different services to the Build LA program. The Build LA program was a presentation that was before you a couple of months ago, not only with the fire department, also DWP, LADBS, which is Department of Building and Safety, and the item before you is to onboard us onto this stakeholder or partnership plan to improve our permitting process that can run in parallel and assist our development community. There is one request to change in the report, and that is to adopt the partnership plan in substantial form. There has been some comments and emails sent to me from the Bureau of Sanitation. They would like to make some minor non-substantial changes to the plan before you. So the recommendation...
That's the language in the, in the
So the
agenda. Fair
recommendation
enough.
for you is to adopt this item as amended and reflect on the transmittal that the transmittal before you is in substantial form.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Campos. Commissioner Jacinto, sir.
Thank you, President James and Executive Officer Campos. I just wanted to share with our colleagues that this is a good thing for our Department of Public Works in fulfillment of our mayor's vision for back to basics and interdepartmental collaboration as it deals with the development and the progress and the economic progress of our city. So the leadership of LADBS and reaching out to us and the months that it took, I do want to appreciate the leadership of Department of Building and Safety and former General Manager Ray Chan and now Frank Bush and other staff. I do want to thank all our Bureau leaders for the Department of Public Works, everybody, including the very intent and involved work of our Executive Officer Campos and our student professional worker Regina Osorio. It's greatly appreciated. I would ask for our colleagues to move this forward so that we, and it's already happening now, that the view of the development community that Los Angeles is a good place to do business is good for our entire city. It's good for development in not only in the downtown area but other major development areas, and it just shows that LA is a city for not just today but for the future. So thank everybody for the work, and I look forward to continuing this Build LA partnership. Thank you.
If I can also add, Commissioner Jacinto, Matty Lon from the Bureau of Engineering, we spent a lot of hours. I don't know if he's in the office, in the room now or not, but thank you. A shout out to Matty because he dedicated so many hours the last 2 weeks just to get this to this point. So we appreciate the Bureau of Engineering's comments, also sanitation, and in fact, all the bureaus. Again, Regine, thank you for your help for steering this in the right direction, and Commissioner Jacinto for your leadership in getting us to this point.
Great, thank you. Any questions at all? So, Mr. Campos, we need to adopt this as amended?
That is my recommendation, yes.
Okay, then it would be my, I think I heard a motion from Commissioner Jacinto that we adopt agenda item number 3 as amended. I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll send number 3 as amended forthwith. Thank you, everyone. Agenda item number 4. Council Districts 8 and 10, Bureau of Engineering and Bureau of Street Services. Recommending that the board authorize the directional closure of southbound and 1 northbound traffic lane, all the southbound lanes and 1 northbound traffic lane in Arlington Avenue between Jefferson Boulevard and 35th Place for up to 2 months, starting as early as October 1, 2016, for construction of the 42-inch junction structure portion of the Arlington Avenue and Jefferson Boulevard Diversion Sewer Project. Mr. Pedroza, good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm Richard Pedroza with the Bureau of Engineering, Wastewater Conveyance Engineering Division. The board report this morning, as you stated, President James, is for the board authorization to authorize the directional closure of the southbound 2 lanes along Arlington and 1 northbound traffic lane between Jefferson and 35th Place. We'll need this up to 2-month closure starting as early as October of this year. There was a handout that has been passed out to all of you. I want to focus everybody's attention on Arlington Avenue, south of Jefferson Boulevard. It's a narrow street. It's 46 feet curb to curb, and you've got 2 traffic lanes in each direction. The reason why we're here is for the construction of the diversion structure on the western half of Arlington is what's necessitating the third lane closure for this project. Originally in design, we thought that we would be able to construct it with one lane in each direction, but with the contractor's submittal for shoring and for safety reasons, we need to encroach into the third lane, which is the lane closest to the curb on southbound Arlington. Currently, LADOT is reviewing the worksite traffic control plans and the traffic detour plans, which are shown on page 2 of the board report.
Are those, you said that they're currently being reviewed, or is the council offices on board here?
They are.
We got 2 council offices, right? Because you're right on the border?
Council districts 8 and 10 are affected by this.
And is there going to be an approval from DOT before the closure is implemented?
They're actually, they're on board with the closure proposal.
Okay.
And with our help, with the PAO's help, Public Affairs Office, and we've also approached neighborhood councils. They're fully supportive of this directional lane closure.
I'm just wanting to better understand the process and and where the traffic rerouting plan is.
Yes.
In its life. So go ahead.
Okay. On page 2 of the board report.
Yeah, I saw the arrows and everything.
Yeah, right. As part of the construction impact mitigation, the contractor Kolich and Sons submitted this detour plan to LADOT, and they're currently reviewing it for approval.
Okay.
And as stated in page 1 of the board report, it's one of the conditions for this to happen. So that's why staff is recommending the board to approve this directional closure.
Great. You got the magic word for me. Conditions.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. And as you've mentioned, President James, we've approached both affected council districts, CD8 and CD10. They're fully supportive of this. And that concludes my report. If you have any further questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Any questions at all on this agenda item? Commissioner Jacinto.
Thanks, President James. Rich, thanks for the report. I just wanted to note it's good that we're working with the PAO, Public Affairs Office.
We are.
I saw Lena here earlier to work because that additional lane is a significant impact.
They've been very instrumental in helping us get this word out to the public. We've outreach to the schools, churches, and affected businesses in the area. And so this is also advertised in social media. So the contractor will also install portable message signs so the public's fully aware of this work proposed.
Great, thank you, sir.
Richard, I don't remember reading. I know we didn't. I don't think I asked this when we met before this, before the hearing today. Were the advertising signs up? You know, those signs that they post. That
I believe. Let me refer to the construction manager. Let me call her up. Lynn Cummings.
Only because I haven't been over there. So, go ahead.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Lynn Hanami Cummings, and I'm the construction project engineer. And yes, to answer your question, the blue credit signs have been posted. There are one on the northbound going on Arlington, approaching our project, and the southbound as well. We also, because this project also involves some work on Jefferson, so not associated quite with the diversion structure, but with some other work, we do have some credit signs as they're approaching from the east on Jefferson, and also a little bit further, actually, we have some portions of the work that are up on Olympic. So all the signs have been posted with the appropriate council district offices. I think there are actually 3 that are involved in this project.
Great. The temporary signs, I live by those things for notices on streets that I live near some streets that are closed fairly frequently. And those temporary signs, when I know that it's coming up, it's so helpful. I don't have to, if you don't have to look on social media. I don't have to absorb the information anywhere else. So they're, at least anecdotally, they're very helpful. So, and I didn't remember if they were out there. So great, thank you. Anything else? Commissioner Davis has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 4. Any issues sending it, any objections? Seconded by Commissioner Ascento. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Seconded by Commissioner Ascento. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 4.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Can we send number 4 forthwith? We can send number 4 forthwith. Mr. Campos, have we cleared the desk?
Not yet. We have item number 9 on the
Oh, we have an oral report. Fabian is sitting right here on the front row for, I don't even need to look at the agenda to tell you what it is. It's on street lighting technology.
Good morning, Fabian
Good morning,
Chen,
sir.
Bureau of Street Lighting, Community Services Division. I'm here this morning to give you an update on an oral report for street lighting improvements and technology on behalf of the Bureau of Street Lighting. We always like to start by highlighting our LED conversion program, to which at this point we have converted over 170,000 streetlights throughout the city of Los Angeles, giving us a 60,000 metric tons of annual CO2 reduction and saving about more than $9 million just in energy savings. So this has been a very successful program, something that has been replicated throughout the United States and the world. So we're very proud in the city of Los Angeles to have been the leader on this type of conversion program. Moving forward, the Bureau is now focusing on our high voltage series to multiple conversion program. As you all know, we have about 25,000 street lights left in the city which are connected to a high voltage system. Now the Bureau luckily has been, as part of this year's budget, allocated money to convert approximately 5,000 of these street lights. For this next fiscal year, 16-17, that's the target number that we're focusing on, and this will be done, half of the work will be done by our city crews, and the other half will be done through a bid and award process where it's going to be contracted out. And it is our intent, or our goal, our forecast to continue doing this for the next 5 years, thereby concluding by the end of 2021 all the conversions for the high voltage street lights out there in the city. So we thank you for your support as part of the budget process to be our voice to making sure that we get those funding resources to complete these conversions. Moving forward, Smart Pole Co-location Program, which it's another program which we have been the leaders worldwide, where we have incorporated a new type of pole that incorporates the telecommunication equipment inside the pole and at the base of the pole. We have completed 95 installations throughout the city. Right now we're in the process of planning and identifying different locations together with different telecommunication carriers. So at this point we don't have an exact number, but it's a program that we continue to go forward as we receive the other sites or locations that the carriers need for these installations. So we're very excited about this. We have received a lot of positive feedback from the constituents and from other cities as well, which again, they are going to replicate something like that. But we were the first ones to do this, so we're very proud of that as well. Moving on, part of the smart city solutions that the Bureau has been implementing includes our electric vehicle charging stations attached to street lighting poles. So with these, we use existing city infrastructure to bring this technology, to the general public. This last fiscal year, we installed 30 locations citywide, and that's about 2 per each council district. In our map over here, we see the distribution where they are, and mostly they are in commercial areas close to council offices, field offices, and we work together with neighborhood councils and council offices to identify these locations. We have a couple of pictures here from the installations. Right now we're using two manufacturers. One is on the left, one is on the right. And they're different in such a way that we have different options to install in different types of pole in the city. One of them, it's a unit that we can install right on the pole, and the other unit just goes all up and down the pole and sits at the base of the pole. So that gives us a better flexibility to be able to do that. And I do want to mention that we're also working with the Department of Transportation to install the signage and also the markings on the curb. So they've been a great help in doing that, working with us. And obviously the Department of Water and Power allowing us to connect this infrastructure to our city streetlights. For the next fiscal year, we're scheduled to do about another 50, and that again will be distributed throughout the city. Lastly, I want to highlight a couple of programs. One which we completed last year, which is the Solar to Grid program, where we're installing solar panels to capture the sun's energy and feeding it back to the electric grid during daytime hours. So this is a program that we started last year. This year, it's not in our budget to install any additional ones, but that's not to say that we are not going to look forward for following years to continue to do this program. But for this year, we're not scheduled for any additional installations. We have 608 total panels installed citywide. And I want to conclude by highlighting our remote monitoring system. This is a state-of-the-art system where all these nodes are connected to the street lights in the city, and giving us all the diagnostics of the street lights, power consumption, any voltage variations, and most importantly, it notifies us when there's street lights out in the city. So this is going to be of a great help for us to be able to take care of these problems and not rely 100% on the constituents and for people who are calling the streetlight outages. So this is a great program that the city is moving forward with. So far, we have close to 66,000 units installed. Most of these are on the modern Cobra head streetlights in the city. And we'll continue to install these monitoring devices throughout the city for the remaining modern streetlights that we have in the city of LA. This concludes my oral report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Commissioner Davis.
I'm very pleased to see some of the developments that we've been able to implement recently that you've talked about in the report. I wanted to just better understand the charging stations project. You did mention that there is some hope for 50 additional charging stations, and I guess you will distribute those in the same way that you have with the initial ones. You did 2 per council district. Is the formula going to be similar for the additional 50 that you're going to implement?
Correct. We felt that that was a fair approach because we do want to have all the citizens in LA to be able to have access to this. That is the approach. We're taking more feedback from the council offices, neighborhood councils, and other groups where they have expressed interest in this. I'm sure we're going to be able to have some flexibility in distributing this throughout the city. Again, we're limited on the locations that we can place these due to the fact that we need street lighting poles. It has to be low voltage. It has to be the correct size of wire that has to be existing in the system. But our approach is going to be very similar to that. Again, we'll receive feedback from council office, mayor's office, and neighborhood councils to be able to install these where there's a need.
Sure. How are these stations funded? Where does the funding come from?
Well, these stations, I know part of the funding came from Department of Water and Power energy efficient grants. I know some of the cost that the users pay some of that money we've been able to reintroduce into the system. So that's something that we're also looking into. And the electric vehicle charging stations actually pay for themselves after a few years, just by the usage of the fees that are charged to the customers. In addition to that, all those costs, energy costs, are given back to the Department of Water and Power for the use of electricity. So we have different approaches that we're using to acquire these. Also, there's different loan strategies for these type of stations, where we can get some of the stations ahead of time and pay them off, as they're being used. The first couple of installations were donated by the manufacturers as a pilot project. So we had quite a few of those at the beginning. I believe they're still owned by the manufacturer. But moving forward, it is the intent of the city to own these and be part of our own property.
Good. The other question I had to ask you was regarding the remote monitoring program. That one is still as effective as you had anticipated in terms of your ability to be able to manage the various street lights and be able to tell when, in fact, there are lights that are out in certain sides of town, and obviously then we can respond as expeditiously as possible. So do you feel that program is a viable program that is proven to be what you expected, the remote monitoring program?
Yeah, definitely. We have seen a decrease in the response time, and most importantly, we're able to tackle these problems in a fast, expeditious way, rather than waiting for somebody to notify us. In addition, this remote monitoring system allows us to control the lights. And this has been particularly useful for our summer night lights program, where council offices stage movie nights, and we're able to turn off the lights so that the projection can be seen properly throughout the movie, and we're able to turn those lights back on right at 11 o'clock after the movie's over. So it gives us different flexibilities for these types of programs. Also, with these, some of the units, we're able to increase the lighting, dim them down. Not that we're doing that right now, but it gives us different options. So it's a very robust system that gives us a lot of flexibility for different applications.
We have in certain areas, particularly in South Los Angeles, found it to be very helpful to be able to have the capacity to increase the lighting, in particularly some neighborhoods where activity that we're working with the police department on, so that has been helpful, and that was going to be one of my questions. My final question to you about the monitoring system is, are all of the areas of the city into the system of being monitored, or are there some areas that are not on board yet with the capacity that the system will provide?
Yes, we started this program probably 5 years ago in conjunction with our LED program. When we started, we focused on the valley. So most of the valley, East Valley, West Valley, has the remote monitoring system. We have been moving forward throughout the city to install these remote monitoring devices. So wherever there's a modern LED street light, all the street lights, if they don't have it already, will receive one of these remote monitoring nodes. In addition, any new private development projects that we approved as a bureau requires the contractor to install one of these. So together with that and our crews and the work that we do, eventually all the street lights that have LEDs will have the remote monitoring device, and that's citywide.
So we are still progressing, I guess, in terms of the implementation of the system with
Correct.
All of the areas of town.
Yes.
And would you say perhaps that we are perhaps 90% there in terms of what we have, or is it still a work in progress?
Yeah, it's still a work in progress. 66,000 is about maybe halfway. Okay. I know the first 5 years of our LED program, we really focused on doing the LED installations to reduce the energy. And now, since we have completed that, those installations throughout the city, now we have a little bit more resources to be able to install these remote monitoring devices. I know we're doing about 10 to 15,000. We did about 10 to 15,000 last year, so that is a rough number that we're going to continue to be doing.
Great. I think it's a great project, and we look forward to working with you to make sure we can achieve full implementation, because I feel it's a great service to the communities in our city. So I thank you for your great work.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let's try this. Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Penning.
Thank you, Fabian, for the presentation. I just wanted to voice my support for everything you guys are doing on this front. I think it's a really great showcase of what can be done through the use of technology. We're not only saving the city, as you write in here, $9 million a year, but we're actually reducing our energy consumption, which in a time right now when our energy supply is running short due to the recent gas leak in Porter Ranch, and at a time when we're just looking for every opportunity to improve our impact in terms of sustainability, this is a really great way of doing that through lighting infrastructure that actually has brighter lights in our neighborhoods, improving public safety. So I just wanted to voice my support, and I know that the mayor has asked you guys to take a role in leading the other city departments and lighting the way, if you will, for them to do conversions on other city-owned properties as well. So appreciate the leadership that you all are taking in that effort. So thanks again.
Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you, President James. Fabian, great, excellent report. Innovation, safety, efficiency, all those good things, back to basics. I just want to let you know as well that we are working with the mayor's office and DOT on an electric vehicle car charging pilot program with a private vendor, so that the placement of the kiosks in low to moderate income LMI communities is important, so that we can get more access into densely populated and needy areas too. So working out that with our city attorney, Ted Jordan, figuring out is a car charging station an AGF, an above ground facility or not. So I'd like to bring you in and the Bureau in on that. Please thank Ed, Norma, and Megan, and all the staff of our great Bureau.
Great, thank you.
Fabian, thank you. This is fun stuff. I love all this. I enjoy when I get a chance to talk in a community meeting or to a neighborhood council. They love hearing about a number of elements of these programs. Most in particular, in my experience, the smart poles.
Yes.
Takes a cabinet off the street and puts it in infrastructure that was going to be there anyway. And they like the technology of that. So lots of good stuff across the board. So thank you, sir. Mr. Campos?
Just a real quick commentary, Fabian. Thank you for the presentation. As we prepare for the annual reports, and we released ours a couple of months ago, for next year's annual report, it would be great to get some data points, if it's available, on job creation and also training jobs for the green sector. So as we train our city forces to become more green jobs, or as we create or retain jobs in the green job industry, if we can somehow quantify that and even present that to this board, or even within our, with the goal to have it into the annual report, that would be great. It's a huge economic impact. Not only it's an environmental positive way of doing things, but it also has the economic impacts not only through job creation, but also training and development for city forces and outside the city as well.
Yeah, definitely. That is something that we will take a look into. I know we have done something like that similarly in the past for job creation, especially for the LED program. But I'm sure we can get some additional information and numbers for that annual report.
Yeah, especially if the funding came from DWP, if it was through the EECBG, the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant, there are some numbers that were sent out to the U.S. Department of Energy. So perhaps we can extract that data and start including it into this report. It would just be a great number to have. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, and thank you, Mr. Campos. Excellent point. The oral report will be received. Mr. Campos, have we now cleared the desk?
Now you have, yes.
All right, then we are adjourned, everyone, with the exception of the Management Committee meeting, which will take place now in our conference room. And everyone have a nice weekend.